So today we are doing a book-shaped storage box. So it has a lid, and then it's got compartments inside. It's quite simple to make, really. So what you're going to need first of all is some construction board. I think you're going to need about 8 or 9 sheets to take care of everything, and then you need one large A3 sheet that's fairly thick so we can get the book effect there. Then some embossed papers or pattern papers for inside and out. So if we're going to start off, we need to do some scoring, and actually the construction board is not that hard to score. So we first need 2 sheets that are scored at 3 inches and 9 inches. Because then what we're going to do, we're going to stick them together at the 3 on the end of one and the beginning another, and that is your basic part of it. And then it's just sticking everything to it to secure it. So we're going to cut up another board and double up on everything, but separate panels so it's easier to fold. So fold them 2 in. And we're going to glue. It's up to you if you want to use the tube with the tub with the spatula, or the tube. For the small bits, I prefer using the tube because you can be more precise. When we get to stick in the large 6-inch ones, then I will use the spatula with the tub. As I said, you don't need much bookbinding glue. It really will last you a long time if used properly. So what we're going to do is stick that together. There we go, all done, stuck together. And then we're going to cut out some pieces, but don't forget, because we don't want them on the crease, you've got to take 1/4 inch off each way. Don't know what I've done with my pegs. I would normally peg it together. Oh, there they are. So it doesn't take long to dry. While that's drying, I'll just put some pegs on it. Nice bright colourful ones. It's probably virtually dry already, to tell you the truth. Let's put them out of the way. So we need to cut 2 strips at 2 3/4 inches. The length is okay because that's not going to affect its folding. And then 5 3/4 inches for one. I didn't do the 2, did I? You'll get that out of one sheet. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then we want another 5 3/4. And another 2 3/4, and that will be, although the spine is already doubled up, because it's the spine, I prefer it was still had that little extra to it. That's me personally. If you're happy with it as it is, of course, go right ahead. So, and then all we're going to do is stick them on the outside, I think. We can take these off now because that's stuck. And then you're just going to get them and stick them all on the outside. I'll come back when we've done that. I don't know if any of you have seen these. I adore them. It's Just the Works. They're £3. You get 24 sheets, double-sided, and some of them are just incredible. I mean, it's good quality paper. I think it's 230 GSM. I don't know what that is in American, but it's very thick paper. Let me flick through this one for you quickly. As you can see, they're highly usable. I love that one. I think I'm going to use that one for the outside. So I've got one there. But as you can see, there are so many choices. Look at that. They're just really good. I'm going to need both sheets of that one. That's for the outside. Right. It's incredible. And then I found this one as well, and I really like this for the drawers. And I should get away with just one. There is another one in here, and then again, look, you can see they're just, I want these. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to put a link to the works under the video, so you can check it out, because you can buy online or visit your store. They are just, where else are you going to get such amazing papers for £3? They are just incredible. I have to tell you that my link is an affiliate link, so I do earn a small commission if you use my link. So if we do the lid first, we don't need to decorate this piece because it is not going to be seen. We're going to stick it like this one. It will stick in there like that, as you can see. So we're not going to see it. We don't need to worry about that. Now, you've got to remember, so on the top we want the outside one, and under the lid we want the inside paper. So let's do the inside first, seeing as that's the first one I've got. So this bit is just over 3 inches, but what we'll do, we'll just do it at 3 inches so it fits inside the folds, by just over 6 inches. You've got to do it a little bit bigger so that it can go over all the extra layers that we've put on the boards. But so we need one 3 by 6. So we'll do 3 inches. By 6. And that can go there. Now I personally don't think you need to do one on these because they're just not going to be seen, but if you want to, they're just 1 inch, and obviously, so you do 1 inch by 6, and that one is by 5 1/4. It's still 1 inch, but obviously don't forget you've got these bits, so you could do 1 inch by 3. that's the inside. And then the outside, I think I'll do the main body first before I use the paper on the outside, because that's more important. So we'll put that to the side and come back to the main body. Where have I put that? So if we're doing the outside first, we know we need 3, 6, 3, 6, 3. What we'll do first is the 2 3s, because I have forgotten one piece. So I've got a 3 and then a 3 that side. As always, Pinflair glue. I'm sure you've all got your favourite glue, but it's Pinflair all the way for me. Okay, do this one. Take it right to the end and make sure it covers the whole piece of board. There we go. So for this bit, what I needed was a nice thick piece of card. You need it thick so that it will keep the round that you want for the trim. So I've got this, I think it's 350 or 400 GSM, this one, but as you can see it's way too big. So I just need a ruler. Didn't write that measurement down. Okay, so the length here we need 6 to, of course, is 15, but then we want a little bit extra to get the bend. So see how long this is, and then I know how much I've got to cut off. That would be better. Okay, because this is a bit longer than A3, so this is 17 3/4, and if I want 15, say and a half, so as you can see, I've started gluing the papers to the extra large sheet, and what I've done, I've cut it in half and put the extra bit in the middle just so that it evens out. So then once we've done that, we'll stick it to the main of the box. Do not stick it to the spine because you want a little bit of space there, a little bit of give to open and shut, so you just stick it to both sides. Once that's done, we can then start on the inside. So for the inside, again, you don't need to cut it in panels, you can just stick it all straight down. It's going to take 1 about 3/4 of a sheet. Make sure you stick it end to end, and don't get it upside down like I did when I first stuck it, and then it'll be fine. And then while that's drying, we'll go to the next part, the lid. Now I've started cutting it out already, but I will tell you it's the whole strip of construction board, and it's you cut it at 5 1/4, and then what you do, you score it at 1 inch and 7 1/4 inch, and then you turn it round and you score it at 1 inch and 4 1/4 inches. And then you're going to cut off the extra bits there and cut that down so that we can glue it. And I already showed you how to do the inside. So now we're going to do the outside. Okay, so for this we need 6 by 3 again. Well, we should really do it 3 1/4 because we want it edge to edge. So 3 1/4 by let's get a bit more wood in. If I cut it 1/2 and 1/2, then turn it round so we cut some of that. 6 1/4. I want a bit more than that in there. So cut a bit more of the. There we go. And that'll be like that. Oh, look, we'll take an inch. So that's good because it actually continues. And then we want 2 strips that are about the same. Okay, let's do 2 inches. Should have thought of that first, shouldn't I? So we want it to run like that. So let's just mark it. Just straighten that up. And then do it 6 1/4 and in half, 1 inch. I just measured it like that so that all the paper follows on. That goes there. Didn't really follow on there, but There we go. So next is to stick the lid bit together. Run it alongside the corner to corner so that it's straight. Seem to have come over a bit on that one. I've put the inside that the drawers are going to be as the inner of the lid. And there's your lid. That will fit nicely. And then we'll bring that back in, because the lid you're going to glue down there and stick it straight down. They come over there, make sure it fits, see, nice. So just need a little bit of glue, not that much, it's only a little piece. Okay, while we leave that to dry, next thing is the drawers. So the drawers we're going to make out of construction board as well, and we're going to give it a bit of extra lift. So you need 2 sheets for the larger drawers and 2 sheets for the smaller drawers. Okay, so we'll start with the large drawers, and you need to cut it at 11¼ by 8¼. So I don't know what I'm going up there. 11¼ you're just taking a bit off, by 8¼ we're actually going to be using the other bits. So again, we're scoring and the large box, what we're effectively doing is a long one. So we've got 2 longer boxes and 2 square boxes. So you need to score at 2 3/4. Turn it around and do another 2 3/4. And then this way, 2 3/4. Now at this point you can either turn it around and do it at 2 3/4, or it's the same as doing it at 5½. So there we go. Now what we need to do, we're going to completely cut off the two front squares. Oh, that was lucky. And then the back ones that stick just like that. Now you can trim a little bit off, but to be honest, it would be a tiniest bit, because you need most of it for it to stick properly. Okay, so then we would decorate, and this would be the back, and it's going to stick like that. So you decorate these two panels, these two, and this. You don't need to decorate them for the inside, and then for the outside you don't need to decorate them because they're going to stick down. So you choose your paper and start decorating. Trying to find. I decided on this one because I really like it, but I think I'm going to have to find another one to go on the inside. So when I've sorted that out, I'll come back. So what I was thinking, I've cut all the drawers out. So there's the two large ones and the two small ones, which are just 2 3/4 by 5.5, and you turn it round and do 2 3/4 by 5.5, and then cut them the same as the small drawers. I like this as the inner, so I've chosen that. I really did like that one. So then all you're going to do now is stick them all down. Remember, I'll save all the squares that you cut out the front, by the way, because we're going to use them after. Remember where you don't need them. So for this one, you don't need them on the inside, you don't need them on them ones. And then okay, you really don't want to see this boring bit. I'll just do one and then I will come back to you when I've finished all of it. And we'll be ready to do the outside. Okay, so to do the drawers, to do the outside of the drawers, we're going to do some extra padding for it, just to thicken it up a bit. So what we need to do is 2 strips that are 11 1/4 long and 2 strips that are 8 1/4 long, and I've done them 2 3/4 just so they fit nicely. And then we're just going to add the strip. Okay, and while that's drying, we're going to stick the drawers together. So like I said, this is the inside, so we stick them together like this. Stick that to that. Don't forget to trim any paper that goes over the side. This is where we cut a little extra bit in, so make sure you get it dead straight. You can tidy up the edges and everything at the end. There's always a bit of tidying up to do. So that's that, and then what we do with the long pieces, when we put that up, we go round and it holds that bit up, because otherwise it would have bulked out the back and you didn't want that. It seemed to be the best way to do it for me. So we need to score it so that it's easier to fold. And the large ones, you're just doing, you go 2 3/4, but then go 1, actually do it at 2 3/4, because we've got such a heavy load there, I would turn it and do both ways this time, and then turn it round and do 2 3/4 again. And then I'll show you, I'll just stick this one together to show you. Obviously you'd take more time for the glue to dry. So first on this piece, just make sure they're a certain way. I think I like that way. And we're going to stick it making sure that it's straight all the way. You stick it. Use my trusted pegs again. In the middle just to be extra safe. That's it. Okay, I'll carry on building them, but it's all the same way. And then you have a nice solid little storage container. Just hold this a second, and then I want to show you the squares that were left over. If you want to, well, if you stick two together and put the inner each side, then you can stick it in like that and do compartments. They do stick if you put glue on the sides and along the bottom. Stick and hold. They do hold. I've done it with the other one, so if you'd like to do that, that's pretty neat as well. Okay, so I will carry on with them and then I'll get back to you about sticking the boxes in. Okay, so that is all the drawers made, and I've sanded down the tops just to tidy them up. There you can see, and they are nice and solid. So now we have to stick them into the book. So the best way to do this when you're doing the first one is to do it while it's standing, so that you get it exactly on the bottom like you should. It's a bit clogged. There we go, that's better. So like I said, first one's going to go here. You missed that first panel because that's the closure. And what we do, so I'll try and do it so you can see, because they're both resting. There we go. And then the next one we're going to put here, which is a square one. And what we're going to do is sit it on there so that we know it's at the right height for it to close properly. So it doesn't take long for the glue to grab. And then the next one is the other long one. And again, we're going to sit it on that one so that we know it's going to shut properly. And the last one is going to go on here. Okay, so now we make sure it closes. There we go. It closes fine. And there you have it. Bookcase storage. You could, as an extra, maybe cover it in Mod Podge or some kind of protective covering. Actually, bookbinding glue will still do that as well. But other than that, you just decorate to your heart's content now. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching.